What up, guys? All right, it's been a little while since I posted a video, ever since that carburetor one. Just running into all kinds of issues here lately. I'm getting the tuning kind of figured out a little bit. I switched to a hotter plug. I switched to an Excel plug. So that's the part number. 276S is the actual part number. These are from Speedway, so I think 105 is part for Speedway, but the 276S is the part number for these. They're like 2 or 3 ranges hotter than the plugs I was running. That really helped, but they're actually a little too hot now. It got rid of a lot of my stumble and my gurgling, because the more I looked at my plugs, the more I realized they were actually fouled. They were running, is just not burning. So I switched to these plugs. Runs way better now, so much different. Runs pretty good. It just now they're a little hot, and I can definitely hear a detonation going on. So I'm gonna switch to a little bit colder plug and see what happens. The other thing that these plugs are is a projector tip style. The other ones I was using were not a projector tip. And I think that may have also been a big part of why it's running better, just because that electrode is actually sticking out in the combustion chamber now. I don't have super high compression, so it makes sense. Did that, runs better. Was just tinkering with that, trying to get things right, and now my fuel pump is bad. I'll throw a little clip of that running. I did a little check to see how much pressure it was putting out. It should be putting out 60 psi, at least 60 psi, and it is not. It's my regulator says it's putting about 6 out. I cranked my regulator up as far as I could, and I got about I cranked it back up to 7. And I literally watched it run for 2 minutes, and it backed all the way back down to 6 psi and kept dropping. So I checked the pump. The pump is definitely not pumping that much gas. So not a good situation there either. So that gave me an opportunity to decide that I'm tearing the rear end out of it. So that's what this video is going to be. I'm not going to do a step-by-step. I might, show a few things here and there, but I'm just going to go ahead and rip the rear end out of this thing, and we're going to get it taken apart, cleaned up, and I'm going to be dropping it off to Quick Performance in Iowa here on Tuesday. So depending on whether or not I get this video uploaded before, I don't know, but today's Saturday, so Tuesday after Memorial Day, I'm heading to Ames, Iowa to unload this rear end and get it built. So wish me luck, guys, on that. And I'll also show you another reason why I need to do this. We got us some new meats. These are Toyo Proxys. Get it flipped around here. Toyo Proxys radials, 275 45 16s. So we finally got us some meats for this baby. I'm pretty excited to get these on there. So Toyo Proxys radials. These are finally 275s. What I have on there now is 245s. So once I get the rear end done and put back in, these are going on, and I could not be happier. So, all right, guys, I'm going to start this endeavor. Let's get things rolling. Okay. All right, we got her out of there. She's pretty dirty. Got it out of there. It fought me a little bit, but wasn't that bad. The one thing that has fought me ever since I put them in are these billet. These, I don't even think there's a billet. I think they're Steeda brand upper control arm mounts. And you see I had to beat the living fuck out of this thing to get it out. So I don't know what else you're supposed to do with them, because I don't understand why they don't have a hexagon, whatever, the fucking nut style surface on the other side too. How did they expect you to fucking put them on there? That really pissed me off when I first got them. It's like, really? So anyway, so the rear end's out. Got that going. I'm going to start tearing her down. Just getting it stripped of everything that's on there, and just getting it ready for shipping out. So, all right, guys.
All right, y'all. We got her out. We got her all tore apart. So that's the bare housing now. All the guts are ripped out of her. The only thing that's left in it is the axle bearings and the bearing races for the pinion, because I don't have a bearing race puller. So it's straight up empty. No, the camera doesn't want to show you.
But anyway, so that's all done. There's the axles. The only thing that I need to figure out is I'm going to take this with me when I go to Quick Performance, because there's some scarring on the case here, and I don't know, my pinion looks a little worn. So I was kind of hoping to reuse my ring and pinion. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff with me and ask them, because I really wasn't wanting to spend, another couple hundred on a new set of a new ring and pinion. So we'll see. If I have to, I have to. It is what it is. So we got that going. Gonna get that figured out. So what they are doing to this housing is, so I'm having it shortened. This housing is 62¼ inches long. So that's from mounting surface to mounting surface. It's 62¼ inches long. This is out of an 02 GT Mustang. So it's pretty long. G-body length is 58 inches, as far as I understand from my internet research and from G-body forums and stuff. That's mounting surface to mounting surface. It's 58 inches. So there 4 inches needs to be cut out of this thing, easy. And that's just to get the stock length. I don't know if I want to go any shorter than that. I am going to do a frame notch eventually. Not right now, but I will. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep it stock length, so I don't have to guess when it comes to wheels. I just know that anything for a G-body should fit, especially with, the frame notch and all that shit. One of the bad things I did discover. So I ordered a rear end bracing kit. So this is all right, sorry about that, guys. I hit a button and it canceled everything. So I went ahead and laid everything out I was going to talk about anyway. So anyway, I went ahead and ordered a 8.8 bracing kit from Wild Rides. So this bar goes underneath the pumpkin and it stretches from axle tube to axle tube. Since it goes underneath, it actually interferes with my damn sway bar. So now I don't know what to do. I really don't want to not run the sway bar, and I don't really want to buy a different sway bar, like a chassis mount one, that you weld between the chassis rails and it comes down to the axle. I don't want to do something different. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get the work done to the housing, and then after I get it back, we're just going to be test fitting, and I'm going to get that sway bar mounted to where it needs to be. And I think we're going to end up welding the brackets onto the housing, so I don't have to worry about them shifting on me. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure about that yet. And then once that's mounted where it needs to be, I think it's going to kind of defeat the purpose. It'll still brace the tubings, the axle tubings, but I think we might end up cutting it and shortening it, so we're gonna have to bend it in a little bit more. It's not gonna give me all the brace that I want, but it'll still help. I'm not sure what to do about that situation now. I really don't want to spend another $200 some and buy the fucking chassis mount rear anti-roll bar, and I don't want to not have one. So just kind of at a loss with that one. I got to figure that out when the housing's all finished. So that's where I'm at. These two braces, there's the ears on the front of the housing. So one end bolts to that, and then there's little tabs that I have to weld onto the axle tubes. So that's not going to be in the way at all. So yeah, we got that going. that's one of the downfalls of this situation. So I'm gonna get this video put up, and maybe I'll make one about my trip up to Quick Performance. I'm not gonna film inside there or anything, but I might show outside the building and talk a little bit. So all right, guys.